It will be a Remembrance Day like none we've ever seen. Lockdowns, socially distanced commemorations. In some ways, it could not have come at a worse time. When we think of Remembrance Day, this is what comes to mind. The great wars of the 20th century and the veterans who fought them, many of whom are now gone. Keeping the memories alive was going to be a challenge with or without COVID. Some institutions, like the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, which maintains 23,000 cemeteries around the world, have begun reimagining remembrance digitally.
I think what this virtual commemoration or virtual remembrance, I think, it's a way to maintain contact. It's a way to maintain presence in our lives of these soldiers and airmen and sailors who are buried a long way away from Canada.
Like Flying Officer Ramsay Habkirk, a Canadian among a Commonwealth crew dropping supplies to spies in occupied France, shot down and killed in the summer of 1944. He is the only Canadian buried at the cemetery in Tilly-sur-Seure.
What struck me is that he was here by himself in a cemetery that isn't very well visited at all.
He decided to honor Flying Officer Ramsay Habkirk by posting a tribute on the War Graves Commission's virtual wall of remembrance, where people are invited to post the stories of individual soldiers, sailors, and aircrew. There is, however, more to the virtual wall.
I think this pandemic, if it's done one thing, it's shown us that perhaps now is the time to start to have those debates about, well, do we need to do something different to engage that generation? So we also need to start asking that generation about, well, how would you remember? And perhaps be creative, be virtual. You creating a little video, or perhaps your cast reading out a poem, that's absolutely as valid as Her Majesty the Queen laying her wreath at the Cenotaph in London on the 11th of November every year.
Virtual walls may be just the beginning. One day soon, you may be able to take your phone, point it at a grave, and see the story behind the tombstone. A Calgary company, Faces of Valor, is using archive data to create the digital experience.
If our software can help people connect in that way, empathetically, to just one story, that's amazing. And this is why I get so excited about this stuff, is it's powerful.
Going digital may give future generations more information and context. There will still be a need, however, for us to stand together among the crosses, row on row, to fully appreciate the tragedy that is war. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.